Namaste. What's up, people? Thirsty. Anyways, I was gutted right now. I was trying to go to sleep, but I was like, okay, let me just do a reading. Maybe I need to get a message for the collective, you know? This could be my message, it could be your message. So, this is from a deck called, I didn't say dick, I said deck, The Soul's Journey. What is your soul's journey this lifetime? You ever wonder that? Everybody has a purpose. We're not here to wake up in the morning, brush our teeth, take a shit, go to work, 9 to 5, come home, cook, clean, hang out with your husband, go to bed. No. You know what I mean? No. We have a journey. We have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. Spirit wants you to bring humor in your life. Maybe you don't have any humor, you know? Do you know humor, humor is the best medication ever? I choose to focus on the lighter side of life, yes. A lot of people take life seriously, you know? They get so sad. Sometimes they're like, they don't have anybody. Let's say you don't, you know? Does it matter? Maybe God didn't want to give you that person because they weren't the right person for you, you know? And if you don't have anybody, let's say, you have yourself. Do you not love yourself enough to love you and know that you're complete on your own? A lot of people get stuck in that, you know? So make your life humor, you know what I mean? Have some humor in it. Do some fun things, you know? Maybe you have fear, you know? Maybe you have fear. Guys, wherever there's fear, there's no love. When you love somebody, there should be no fear in love. When there's fear in love, then that person does not love you. No, they're just a scary cat. You want to be with a scary cat? Do you want to be with a person without a backbone? If he or she is scared, how's he going to hold up, right? To be in a relationship, it takes two people, right? If one person falls down, the other person should help the other person up. But if you're with a scary cat, if you're with somebody who's always in fear, how are they going to hold you up high together? They're not. This is what I'm getting. Love, yes. You got to love you. Once you love you, then you find your match. And whoever needs to heal, heal. And stop thinking this is my story. Yes, I'm single. Yes, I've been with some people in my lifetime. Yes, things didn't work out, but they just didn't work out, you know? Do I hate those people? No, things just didn't work out, you know? Maybe God had a better plan for me, you know? Oh, relationships. Yep, that's what we're talking about right now. Relationships. You know, it says, I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Yep. So I just wrote on my video, I release who doesn't serve me, meaning not like serve me, but I release people who doesn't serve me in my energy, who doesn't reciprocate with me, who doesn't resonate with me, who's not on the same level. Sometimes you can meet somebody and you're up here, they're down here spiritually, and they're trying to come up here, but they can't come up here, but they want to lie about it, and they think they want to be up here, but they're not at that level, you know? But it's not their fault. They got to do the work. You can still respect them, right? But do you have to wait for them? No, you have a choice. Would they wait for you? No, they wouldn't. You know why? Because first of all, they lied to you. And when they lie to you, when somebody lies to you, they have potential to lie to you again. So spiritually, you thought maybe they're working on themselves, and they're really not, because when the lie comes, But when you lie, you're not spiritually there, you know? There's confirmation to my cough right there. Freedom. Freedom, guys. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Yeah. You create your own happiness. You know, a lot of people think, you know, if I get a wife, if I get a husband, I'm going to be so happy. No. Do you know, and I'm not trying to put married people down, but majority of the married people are fucking miserable. Those are the people that did not marry their match. They just wanted to get married, you know, and now they're like, okay, they're married, you know. And there are people that are not married that want to be married and think that the other married people are happy. No. And I'm not against marriage or anything, but marry somebody you love. Marry somebody who resonates with you, who reciprocates the same love. Don't get married to somebody because there's a body there, right? You just want to be with somebody. No. Or you're lonely or some shit like that. No. Marry somebody when you're in love with them. Like you want to spend your whole life with them till death do you part. Just don't want to get married because everybody else is getting married, you know? And a lot of young people just want to get married because their friends are getting married, you know? And their parents are getting, get married, you know? First of all, you marry people when you love them. You don't just get married just everybody else is getting married. You know what I mean? Yeah. Change. There's a change coming in your life. It's going to be a 180 to a 360. Service. When you come with this person together, I'm getting. This reading is all over the place, guys. But this is what I'm getting. These are the messages I'm getting by Divine. When you meet this person, when you meet your match, when you do the work on yourself, mind, body, and soul, you meet your match. You meet your mirror. You will be doing service with them. Church service, temple service, Gurdwara service. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. Service for God. Service for humanity, you know? Because I'm talking about kingdom marriages, you know? Kingdom marriages are made in heaven, you know? And how do you find your kingdom marriage? How do you find your kingdom spouse? Is when you do the work. When you do the work on yourself, you find your kingdom person, you know what I mean? But you both have a purpose together. That's why God unites you together, you know? Friendship. You are going to be friends. You're going to be friends, then you're going to become lovers. This is what I'm getting. And you know what? Any relationship that starts out with friends, and if you fall in love with them, how great is that? It works. You know what I mean? Yep. So I'm getting somebody out here, is friends with somebody. And they want to move to the next level, I'm getting. Somebody out here, I don't know who from the collective. And they want to get to the next level, but they don't know how to tell her or him. Well, if you don't open your mouth, how are he or him going to know? I mean, how are he or she going to know? Balance. Everything has to have a balance, right? Balance in love, balance in work life, balance in home life, you know? That's so important, you know? Maybe this person that you're thinking of right now is indecisive. Indecision, I'm sorry. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Yeah, so maybe this person can't decide. I don't know. Maybe you're regretting something. Maybe you lied. I don't know. I keep on getting lies, you know. Maybe you lied and you know, and that person know you lied. You're feeling guilty about something. Have gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Yeah, many people think that I'm alone, that I'm lonely. No, I'm with my angels. I have not been dating for the last 7 years because I was working on myself. You know, I'll be honest with you. I've been alone, but being alone and being lonely are two different things. I had to discover myself. I had to find who was real in my life. God had to isolate me from my enemies, as a matter of fact. My enemies were my step family. I didn't even know they were my step family till my parents passed away. They said I wasn't their kid, their daughter. So then I knew that these are step people. You know what I mean? So anyways, I don't want to go off the topic there, but you know, loneliness, right? You're never alone though. If you feel you're alone, you're never alone. You have your angels with you. You have your ancestors with you. And you have your spirit guides with you. They're always with you, you know, always, in any kind of moment. But you need to call your angels in, you know. If you don't call them in, how are they going to accept you? Now I'm getting a card, acceptance, right? You have to accept yourself, then you can accept somebody else. If you don't accept yourself fully, mind, body, and soul, 100%, how are you going to accept somebody else? How? You know? You know, I meet people, you know, but people get me wrong sometimes, you know, but I don't care. I know who I am. If you don't know who I am, it's because you don't know who you are. Does that make sense? You can't know somebody if you don't even know yourself, right? You're 100%. You got to accept who you are. Who are you? And I'm going to say this again, guys. You are not the person who you look at every morning in the mirror. This is just a costume we wear, right? We wear this costume. This is a costume. We are our soul. Who are you inside your soul? Who are you in that soul? Are you a good person? Or, you know, are you going to help somebody on the side of the road? Or are you going to pass by and be like, whatever? You know, are you going to be helping children in the world? You know, are you going to have some humility in you? Or are you just going to be like, who cares? You're only going to think about me, you know? So, yeah. Judgment. Many people judge you. Maybe people are judging you. Maybe you're judging people, you know. Judgment is the worst thing you can do, you know. When you judge people, that's when you lose people. Because many people judge people because they listen to their friends, you know. And guys and girls, if you're dating anybody, if you're interested in anybody, don't ask your friends, what do you think about her? What do you think about him? No, ask your heart. What do you think? Ask her. Ask her. Ask him. Try to get to know that person. Stop asking other people. How do you know the other people are not lying to you, huh? Why would you take somebody else's advice over your heart? Why won't you ask your heart, right? Why won't you ask your heart? Heart, do you like this person? Or do you want to get to know this person? It will say yes or no. You know? But when you start asking other people, right? That's when you mess up. Because they might say negative things about that person, and that might be your person. That happened to me this lifetime. I met this really nice guy, and I thought he was the one, and he really was the one. But he listened to his friends. And he lost me. That's how he lost me. Now he wants me back. I'm just giving you a little scenario. But no, once you lose me, I'm not coming back to you because you effed up. You listened to your friends and you judged me. So if you couldn't listen to your heart, how are you going to listen to my heart? You know? No. So listen to your heart, love yourself, do the work, and you'll find your match. This reading was not supposed to be a relationship reading, but I guess it was kind of just about relationships and in general, I'm saying. So anyways, let's do one more card. Maybe you're in denial. Discipline yourself. Stop doubting. Honesty. You know, honesty is so important. When somebody can't be honest with you and they lie to you, that's a red flag. I don't care if it's a small lie. Be honest, even if it hurts that person. I don't give a F. Because honesty shows you got integrity, you know? You got to be honest with people. If you can't be honest with them, how can you be honest with yourself? The reason you're not honest with them because you're not even honest with yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Be honest, because you know what? The universe knows if you're being honest or not. The universe knows, God knows, and your soul knows, right? And I feel somebody out there tonight is feeling guilty. You know, they weren't honest. And the sad thing is, if they weren't honest, they couldn't even have the audacity, or the, not audacity, they didn't even have the strength to come and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I fucked up, you know. Man up or woman up. If you mess up, you say, you know what, I messed up, I'm sorry I messed up. How can I fix this? But no, people just don't even want to say they're sorry or act like it never happened and want to be with you. It doesn't work that way, you know. They just want to put everything under the rug. No. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'm just saying in general that honesty matters. And if somebody can't be honest with you, and somebody just wants to show up after they hurt you and then act like nothing ever happened and want to be with you, it doesn't work like that. You know, when you mess up, admit to your mistake. Man up, be a man and be like, you know, I fucked up, man. How could I fix this? You know, maybe you don't want to fix it with them anymore. Let's say, but at least have integrity. You know, and if you can't have integrity, then you got to do a lot of work. That's all I got to say. Thank you.